Radio host and author James Golden, who we better know as Bo Snerdley from WABC Radio New York. Bo, what in the world do you make of the world's richest man opening up his checkbook in this kind of way to drive voters to his causes?
I think it's fabulous. And
really?
The fact that you have, yes. Elon Musk is a private citizen. He has earned the money that he's spending. It's his money. He can spend it. And what is he spending it on? Promoting free speech, which is in threat. It is threatened by people on the left right now, some in elected offices. And he's also promoting the Second Amendment. Two things fundamental to American liberty. So what do you have? You have complaints coming in from the governor of Pennsylvania, basically threatening legal action. Yep. Well, Governor Shapiro, this has already been decided. Citizens United. You can use your money for political speech. So this is political thuggery to try to get him to stop, but I think it's a great thing he's doing.
And Bo, let me just, you brought up Governor Shapiro. Let me just play the bit of sound where he's questioning the legality of all this. Take a listen.
I think there are real questions with how he is spending money in this race, how the dark money is flowing, not just into Pennsylvania, but apparently now into the pockets of Pennsylvanians. That is deeply concerning.
So do you think Musk should be concerned at all, or the Trump campaign should be concerned at all, Bo?
No, this is not dark money, as he says. This is his money, and he's free to spend it however he wants. Now, you know something? The government, the federal government under Joe Biden has funneled billions of dollars to NGOs, which in turn funnel that money to left-wing activists. If there's something to look at, that's something to look at. A private citizen spending his own money on issues that he cares about. Issue advocacy is part of the political system. And as I said, the Supreme Court has already ruled on it. Nothing to worry about whatsoever.
Do you think it's a waste of money on his part, though? I mean, if you think about it, $1 million a day, to someone for the rest of the election. So he's going to spend $17 to $18 million on only 17 or 18 people, Bo. And it's not like the people who signed this petition are vowing that come November 5th, they'll get into that ballot box and vote for Trump. Does it move the needle at all? Is it a waste?
I don't know whether it's a waste. Here's what it does. It generates the kind of publicity that encourages people to get out and register. You're looking at a battleground state where in some counties, this election might be decided by a few thousand votes. If it turns out that those few thousand votes are what takes Donald Trump over the top in Pennsylvania, it's money well spent. When you consider how much it costs to buy an ad, a media ad for 1 minute in some of these markets, it's a wise investment. Actually, it's a very discounted investment in a way.
Yeah, just crazy money being spent right now. The voting margins have been so tight in these swing states in recent elections. How much will star surrogates like Elon Musk or, the Obamas for the Harris campaign, how much will that really sway voters in either direction, you think?
Now, that's something I don't know. Kamala Harris had Lizzo out saying that she wanted to make sure that America looks like Detroit. America's turned into Detroit. I think that got a lot of attention. I think people might pay attention to that, although not in the way it was that the Harris campaign intended. With Elon Musk, I think this is going to generate a fair amount of interest from people that could come to the polls. The Harris campaign has some problems here. As you mentioned in the segment before, the Hill, the polling is showing for the first time Donald Trump is in the lead since Kamala Harris was installed by the Democrats. And that's being reflected in other polls. So this thing right now, one would have to say the momentum is shifting to Trump.
Yeah, it's putting him at a 52% chance of winning. The first time he's had the edge in this specific poll since she took over the Democratic ticket. Bo Snerdley, always hope you had a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you, Markie. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.